I can't. Oh my God. Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. What an evening. I had to wait. I had to wait for this preview to be done now. I had to, because we got a few things to cover. Tonight's result has opened all sorts of doors. All sorts of doors. And I don't think... I mean, look, I'm smiling. I think what's happened tonight is pretty hilarious, right? The circumstances that the game went down. Man City did beat Tottenham 2-0, but I'm not the happiest one here. You're not the happiest one here. But Arsenal fans are not happy right now, that's for sure. And commiserations for what it's worth, because I have to say this. I actually have to say this. It will have to be fair. I think Arsenal's campaign has been brilliant. Overall, I think it's been brilliant. It's been class. In fact, it's the most amount of points that Arsenal have ever acquired in a league season. Ever. Their invincible team, right, had... Was it 85 points? Anyway, they've had less points than what this team has now after 37 games. I have to say, credit to Arsenal for what it's worth. But it doesn't look like they're going to have anything to show for it. Not like the Invincibles. They got a golden trophy. Because they literally went invincible and didn't lose a game. Arsenal are not going to be winning the league title this year unless something mad happens on the final day. The way that it is now, Man City do still need to win if Arsenal win their game. If City were to draw, Arsenal would be able to win and win the league on goal difference. So, yeah, it's not done, but there is still things to do. However, where I was heading, we're not the happiest ones here today. Tottenham fans are the happiest ones here today by the looks of it, because they're losing 2-0. In the midst of losing this game, I mean, fans are doing the Poznan. There's fans that are laughing, singing, glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. There's fans in the ground laughing their heads off. I mean, you would have thought that they've beaten Man City. No, they lost 2-0. They're ecstatic. They're absolutely living life tonight. Why? Because it's more than likely cost Arsenal the league title. That's why the Tottenham fans are absolutely beaming and definitely all going out tonight celebrating. That's for sure. That's for sure. But what has this result done? Before we get into the Brighton versus Chelsea preview, which is related to what I'm about to say. Now, Tottenham fans, you may be laughing and you may be happy now, but that laughing is going to come to a very abrupt end because you don't realise what you've just done. Tottenham are now in danger of not playing European football. Can I just say? They're in danger. They are in danger. And why? How? Well, it depends on what goes down tomorrow. Tottenham have lost 4 in a row. Let's look at the league title now. I mean, they've actually lost 4 in a row. It's the only team worse than them is Sheffield United. They've lost 5 in a row. So, Tottenham, great form. This is the league table. Let's go through it. As it stands, Man City are 2 points ahead of Arsenal at the top of the league. So we've already clarified what needs to be done there. Aston Villa have qualified for the Champions League. Can we say Aston Villa, huge congratulations, completely deserved. I think in the same way we were giving a little bit of respect to Arsenal for the campaign that they have had, Aston Villa have actually achieved what they've wanted to achieve. They have qualified for the Champions League next year. That's incredible. Aston Villa, Unai Emery's Aston Villa will be playing Champions League football next season. Huge congrats. Absolutely deserved. So I'm very happy for them. Aston Villa, very happy for you. Very deserved. You've been brilliant this season. So good luck into the Champions League. Technically, they've taken our spot. Anyway, let's move. Tottenham in 5th with 63 points, having played 1 game more than Newcastle and Chelsea. Tottenham have a less goal difference than Newcastle and Chelsea. If Newcastle and Chelsea both win their games, or if one of them win their games tomorrow, they will go to 3 points behind Tottenham heading into the final day with a better goal difference. That's where it stands right now. So Tottenham are in danger of not finishing fifth. I'll give you a scenario. If Chelsea beat Brighton tomorrow, right? Man United, Newcastle, whatever happens. This applies to Newcastle as well. If Newcastle and Chelsea win their games tomorrow, right? And then it goes into the final day and Tottenham lose their final game and either Newcastle or Chelsea were to win, they would go fifth. They would finish the season in fifth. This is incredible. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? Now, the games that we have, Brighton versus Chelsea tomorrow, Man United, Newcastle. Onto the final day, Sheffield United, Tottenham. This is where you're thinking, surely not, yeah? I mean, Sheffield United, we need a favour from you. You've not won a game in the Premier League for, I don't know, like 84 years. Could you just beat Tottenham on your final day as a goodbye to the Premier League? That would be great. You know, if you did that, we would all be, red carpeting you out of the Premier League. Fantastic. Thank you very much. If you could just beat Spurs, that would be great. That would be great. But don't put your life savings on it, basically. Brentford have to play Newcastle. Arsenal are at home to Everton, whilst Man City are at home to West Ham. So we'll see what happens there. We're going to have to rely on... Well, Arsenal are relying on West Ham to do them a favour now. Unlikely, but you never know. Chelsea are at home to Bournemouth. And Brighton have to play Manchester United. So we'll see how it's all going to turn out. Now, talking about Chelsea, let's get into this preview. We got to beat Brighton. Basically, at the end of the day, we can all look at the teams that are around us and all of that, but we have to beat Brighton. End of story. If we don't, end of story. Basically. This is why I've said, I am looking at us. We beat Nottingham Forest. Cool. That was one of the games that I was asking for. We have to beat Brighton. Cool. And then we have to beat Bournemouth. It's as simple as that. We ain't got a choice. So going into this game, it's going to be a very, very interesting one. And why? Because it is Brighton. This is the club that we have financed, basically. We have given everything that they've wanted. We have taken everything from them and they've replaced them just fine. So tomorrow is going to be a real testament and test as to see where do both of these clubs stand after all of the business and craziness that we've had in between the two clubs. Now, in terms of the injury news and heading into this, let's start with Brighton. They are the home team. I've got the news here. João Pedro is fit after he missed the last match because of injury. Joel Veltman as well sustained injury against Newcastle, and he may not play again this season, so it looks like his season might be done. Ben Chilwell and Chukwuemeka are back in training and will be assessed. Pochettino in the press conference did say that Ben Chilwell is looking very, very unlikely to not play. So very unlikely, and he won't play. So that's that. Chukwuemeka, we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll be involved either. And it's the same faces that remain on the sidelines. Sanchez, Fofana, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. Everyone else is ready. So what does that mean? Well, it means the players that we've seen come back are back. Reece James is back. Gusto and all those guys are back. Levi Colwill is another one. We don't quite know his status completely. Like, is he available tomorrow? He might be. Nkunku is back. He's already playing. We know this. So we do have a team. We do have a team. And it's come at the perfect time. So this is why I'm saying it's going to be a very interesting fixture, because just at the point where we really need to, knuckle down and get these points is at a time where we're getting all these players back. So I hope we go to Brighton and do a number on them. And for me, that would be the first step in me looking at this Chelsea team now and what we're doing and thinking, okay, now we actually have something to think about next season, especially in terms of Pochettino. Because right now, the managerial market, look, if you're asking me, my options, everyone knows. I would take TT back, but it's actually looking like he could stay at Bayern Munich now. Bayern Munich are getting rejected more times than, I don't even know. Every manager's turning them down. They even tried to go for Oliver Glasner of Crystal Palace and offered Palace nearly 20 million, and they said, no, we want 100 million. They're right. I don't blame Palace for that. Tuchel, because of this situation, it seems like Bayern Munich are now trying to get back onto the good pages with him and are trying to keep him and allow him to stay. So we might see Tuchel just stay at Bayern Munich. That's one. Mourinho's a weird one. Mourinho could actually be going to Fenerbahce in Turkey, right? They're having a presidential election. Their old president has come out, who's up for election this time, has come out and said that he met with Jose, had a 2-hour meeting, they watched the game together, and he's agreed to come to Fenerbahce if this geezer becomes the president of Fenerbahce again, which is a resounding yes, because he's very popular amongst the Fenerbahce fans. He's an old president. They all loved him. And now he's winning. Now he's saying he's going to bring Jose flipping Mourinho in, and he's going to give him all the transfers he wants. I mean, so Jose to Fenerbahce. In Turkey, that would be box office, by the way, because Turkish people are very, and that's Jose. So he's going to deal with men, not kids. So that's an interesting story that will probably develop soon. When you look at the managerial market, what, De Zerbi? Nah, tomorrow will be a testament to this theory. For anyone saying that De Zerbi is the man to come in and take Poch's job, right? And like I've said, I've been critical of Poch a lot, and up until now, he's only now starting to say the things and act in the way that I've been waiting for this guy to flip and speak and act, right? With some backbone, which is what I've said recently. Some backbone. Keep that up, right? Maybe it's because his job's on the line. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe he feels like he's got nothing to lose. Well, if he keeps this energy, right? Cool, we've got something to discuss here. Now, if Chelsea are actually winning games in the process, again, we have something to discuss here, which is why if we beat Brighton tomorrow, I think there has to be a conversation, and then we see how it ends against Bournemouth, and especially if we get Europa League, albeit even on top of that, if we get 5th, oh boy, oh boy. I will say it here. If we end up 5th, we can't change anything. It's just the reality. We can't change anything. We go into next season and we keep thinking about how we're going to move forward. That's the logical thing. No one would have had Chelsea finish in 5th. At one point, we were looking like we were going to finish 13th. Like, it makes sense. So, we'll see what happens. But tomorrow is a big one. And there's an extra spice added into this fixture, which is, it's Brighton, right? It's Tony Bloom. We meet again. Hey, Mr. Poker Face, we meet again. How sweet would it be if we just go to Brighton and do a number on them? This is the one fixture. I need us to win this. For multiple reasons. I need us to win this. So let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below on what you think in regards to this fixture. But let's get into the starting 11. All things considered, the team news considered. Let's dive right into it. Here's my starting 11. Right, on screen for you guys, in its flesh and its glory, right? Petrovic in goal, without a doubt. I would keep Cucurella, of course, Chilwell is a doubt, but Cucurella, I think, is going to be playing the more inverted role tomorrow, and I think against Brighton, that can be a thing that will work, because Brighton are so, they try to be super technical. De Zerbi tries to be super tactical. There is only one dimension, I think, with the way that De Zerbi plays, and I think there is space there to exploit if you know how to exploit it. And I think Cucurella coming into that inverted role is something that I think will help, and I think can cause some issues for Brighton overall, because I don't feel like Brighton protect themselves defensively. So Cucurella in this space, I think, will be much more effective compared to how it was in the last game, where you did see that Cucurella was coming central and he was ineffective, because everything around was getting locked down, right? They were constantly two-manning up on every single man on every single Chelsea man that receives the ball, and Cucurella specifically in midfield had nowhere to go. So, second half, we resorted to Cucurella heading over to the left-hand side, if you recall, and ended up doing a number that way. We ended up getting the result in the last 10 minutes. So, this is where I don't think the same thing's going to happen here like it did against Nottingham Forest. I feel like this is a chance where we do get to have a bit more space. Brighton do like to play a little bit more open. Brighton are not much of a defensive team. That might come into our favour. So Cucurella on the left-hand side, cutting inwards and inverting. Right back, look, I've said this. I don't want Reece James playing unless he's 200%. I, in my mind, did not have Reece James playing the way that he did, like he did when he came on against Nottingham Forest. He looked 200%, And if he is 200%, then cool, he's playing. I hope he's 200%, which is why I've got him in the starting lineup, because his contribution when he came on against Forest was mind-blowing. And then he got that assist, beautiful assist to Nico Jackson. It changed the game, right? So if Reece James is fit, and I mean fit, I don't mean, oh no, he's just made it to match fit. Like, no, we need him to be fit. If he's fit, he's starting, without question. So, yeah, I didn't expect him to come on and make the contribution that he did against Nottingham Forest. I thought, nah, he's only come back from injury. Why are we playing him? Why is he coming on? Well, cool. Clearly, he must be 200% then. Well, if he is, he's starting. So, Reece James, right back. Centre-backs, I would go with Thiago Silva and Chalobah. I think that's our stable centre-back pairing for now. Badiashile, we saw, was susceptible to mistakes. We need certainty tomorrow. We need certainty. So, I would go with that as my centre-back pairing. Everything else really doesn't change. Everything else is the same. Now, I've got Caicedo and Gallagher together with Cole Palmer in the 10, and I've got Mudryk, Madueke, and Nico Jackson up top. I don't want to change anything on the basis of how it's gone for the last 3.5 games now. But I understand some people would want to bring in Nkunku on. I question who for? Who for? You won't replace him for Palmer. You won't replace Palmer with him. Would you replace Madueke with him? Would you replace one of Mudryk with him, one of the wingers? Would you replace Nico Jackson? So I know some people might say, don't play Jackson. But Jackson, even though he's not been playing brilliant, he's been scoring. I think he has. How many goals does he have? 16 goals or something? I mean, it's actually, for a bad season, and it has been a bad season, and he said that himself. He's actually got that much on the board. So fair play. In that regard, fair play. He scored the last game. I would start him. On the basis of continuity. Striker, when a striker scores, it's important that the striker plays the next game, because that confidence will go into the next game. Now, if we see that he's hesitating, that something's going on, that it's not working, well, yes, we can bring Nkunku on. I would bring Nkunku on. I would see how this team works first, and then if it's not working, we can make adjustments, and we can bring Nkunku on, and we can bring Gusto on, and we can bring all these guys that are now available on. I mean, hell, if Levi Cole is available, we can even bring him on for Bents. For Bents. So we'll see what happens. But do you agree or disagree with this starting 11? Let me know down below. But this is my starting 11. Now, in terms of a prediction, as I tell you guys to make sure that you are here tomorrow, as we will be watching the game, we will be doing the watch along. Make sure you're tied, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you've got the bell on, make sure you've got all of this on, and we will watch it together and go through the motions. I'm going to give you my prediction. I don't like this game because it's Brighton. But I do think we've got momentum. I do think that Brighton are not as effective as they were before. Like I said, they're one-dimensional. I think they will leave space. I expect us to get an early goal, and then we'll see what happens from there. I am going with... I want to say Chelsea get a clean sheet, but my gut is telling me Brighton 1, Chelsea 3. That's just my gut. Just off the bat. What's the result? 3-1 Chelsea. But do I see Brighton scoring? Actually, yeah, 3-1. I think that's fair. Nottingham Forest bagged 2 against us, so I would go 3-1 Chelsea is my prediction. Like I said, I think there'll be space to exploit, and I think we will. I think we do have a little bit of confidence, a little bit of buzz, and there's something huge to play for now. It's not just 6th and hoping that Man United lose the FA Cup final. I think they will, but who knows? If Sheffield United on the final day can just do us a favour, we might end up 5th. So, listen, there's definitely things to play for here. Let me know your predictions down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow on the watch along. And after the watch along, the match review. So, be here. Thank you all very much. I'll see you lot then. Have a good one. Take care. Enjoy your night. Unless you're an Arsenal fan, I apologise. I'm sorry. You're going to have to sleep through the pain. And Tottenham, you can smile now, but look behind you. Things are coming. I'll see you lot tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.